Hey, it's Deborah with Flipping 50, and I am here to answer a question that I get asked so very frequently. It's like, what if I'm hungry before I work out in the morning? And what if I'm especially doing high intensity intervals and I'm hungry? So I'm gonna answer that question and give you a little trick. A lot of people are saying, well, I know you're an advocate, meaning me, for smoothies in the morning, and if I do it, I feel too full to exercise right away. So truth, that's absolutely right. So here's the way I think of it. My smoothie, or maybe it's not a smoothie and it's just that you're having a regular breakfast, or you worked out in the morning and then you're waiting an hour, hour and a half, and it's more of a brunch. And in fact, if you're doing intermittent fasting, that may be the case. So it's 10 or 11. It's kind of your late morning meal, first one of the day, and you're doing a little intermittent fasting. So you may actually be having only 2 big meals, but you're having, one snack before exercise, or you're having a mid-afternoon snack. And depending on whether you have thyroiditis or not. So if something is going on with your thyroid, you may want to really think about what is the timing of your nutrition, and cutting back on your exercise can be a really good idea. I'm going to save that for a new video, but I just want to show you, this is kind of a pre-exercise snack, and it literally is for me, no makeup. I just changed into clothes and from my pajamas, and I'm going to be doing a video, actually making a video for you, for our subscribers on our email list at Flipping 50 for the morning after, for the holiday post-indulging meal. If you do it, it's not a license to do it, but how you exercise and why. So it's going to be higher intensity for about 20 minutes. And generally, if I've been up for a few hours, I get hungry. I have a morning appetite. And yet I don't want to have all the greens and roughage, all the fiber and the fat, like the MCT oil, which will help you burn fat. But I don't want that right before I do high intensity exercise, because you want your gut to clear pretty quickly. So if you were having a smoothie or any other meal, you've got to wait about 2 hours really to let that go. Well, I actually want to exercise now. It's just I don't want to be hungry. And I'm kind of at that place where I'm going to be distracted, and then I won't work as hard. You won't get as good of results. So if you have to weigh the odds and say, is it better to exercise fasted versus not, it's better to not be hungry so that you can push and use more energy. And more energy expended means really more calories burned, not just during the exercise, but it's 4 hours afterward. The exception to that, the workout I'm gonna do for the morning after. So if you don't know the science, you gotta know the difference between those two things. But I wanna show you what I have as my snack, my pre-exercise or pre-workout if I'm doing high intensity. Now, if I were going for a walk or a hike or just a leisurely swim, right? So doing some laps, but I'm not pushing it, not going extra long, then higher in protein and higher in fat if I needed to eat something, because you don't want a lot of carbohydrates before you're doing low intensity work, because your body has a preference for burning fat. So help it burn fat by giving it protein and fat, maybe a little bit of protein, but having a lot of those bars that are really just cookies, masquerading as a fitness bar, not necessarily something that you want to be doing. I would take nuts and seeds over some kind of a thing with a barcode on it, whether it was a high protein or a high carbohydrate. So read your label. It may say high protein, but if it's also got like 36 grams of carbohydrate, you got to really think, do I need that really right now to do this low level exercise? Usually the answer is no. So here's my quick trick. So I already dropped my protein powder in here. So what I'm doing today, I will choose either, I don't have pea protein on me right now. I'm actually out because I like it so much. So what I'm using is either my Flipping 50 Paleo in chocolate or in vanilla, and then that's the one I put in there today. So funny, if I wanted double chocolate, this is how I would do it. So I've got that in there. I'm adding a little raw cacao powder. So this is just because I like the way it tastes. And I love the combination of chocolate and banana. and I'm putting in a little bit of frozen green banana. So before I freeze them, I slice them, and that just makes it easier to kind of separate. And I'll put those in there. And I don't want a lot, because here's where I'm really gonna get green banana, by the way, is important. So if you get a brown banana, it's turned to sugar. It's been oxidized, and there's a lot more sugar in that brown banana, right, with a brown peel, as opposed to if it's on the green side. That's what you want. So I know it's not as sweet. It will be enough so. And your taste buds, by the way, will change. After about 11 days, they turn over. So if you stop eating sugar and sweet treats, you'll find that you really don't have a taste for it anymore. But what I've got right here is a can of garbanzo beans. Now, let me be clear. I'm not putting the beans in, but what I'm putting in is the juice, and that's called aquafaba. So that is the chickpea liquid, basically. So I'm just gonna squeeze or shake it out, and that is probably a little bit less than even a quarter of a cup. And then I'm gonna save the rest in a glass container, and I will make those within a day or two. Probably I could use them to make hummus, which is a great, high snack, high protein, high fat snack to pair with raw veggies, and or use as a spread on wraps like coconut wraps or brown rice wraps, and love that snack. So this, though, is what we call a resistant starch, as there are the green bananas, ripe bananas or not. But this helps you to not store those carbohydrates. They give you kind of a timed release energy. So I'm not gonna get some spike in blood sugar like I might with a protein bar that's really high in carbohydrate. But this is gonna help me boost my energy now to get started in the interval workout that I'm about to do and sustain that energy. So for a couple of hours, I'm actually gonna do this short workout for you and tape it and I'll edit that later this afternoon. But then I'm gonna take Truman out for a little walk, and I'm gonna go for a little hike. Not a long one, but just to get out and stretch my legs a little bit. So I did a bike ride yesterday, and really just to enjoy nature and kind of cut back. So more movement, less exercise. And if you are dealing with a thyroid issue, as right now I'm kind of flirting with it myself, you've got to figure out, first, you need to be moving. Don't try to burn off weight that you feel like has come on out of nowhere, which I know is our temptation. But you want to get back to moving more and be sure that that's not fatiguing you in itself before you start adding more exercise. So there we go. So I've got the protein powder, I've got the cacao powder in there, so it's a little chocolate, and it's got the bananas in there. I'm gonna add pure filtered water. I happen to have this sitting on the counter, but I get pure filtered water. I don't drink out of my tap. It's because I have not tested it yet, and I don't know if there's any heavy metals. I don't need a lot of liquid because I kind of like it fairly thick. But what I'm gonna do is just pause right here, and I'm gonna go blend it up, and then I'll show you the yum factor. Here we go, just pouring this back into that glass I had used. So just probably about 12, 14 ounces definitely in here. So let me go. So nice chocolatey, mild flavor really because of the bananas. And the aquafaba juice or liquid doesn't actually add any flavor. So if you've got a vanilla flavored protein powder, or you want to add just a little drop of pure vanilla extract, that'll change it and kind of overpower it. So if you're really sensitive taste buds, I know you out there, I see you, but this would be the way to go. So now I'm just gonna drink this. It won't take long. It's not gonna fill me up because it's very easy to digest. It's literally liquid. But now I've got some high quality protein to fuel me. I'm not trying to starve myself. I'm actually feeding a fit body, which is really what you wanna do. Even if you're trying to lose weight, eating and fueling the muscles and the energy that you wanna have are the way to go. So I hope that's helpful. And if you've got questions about what to eat before exercise, when not to eat before exercise, what and when to eat after exercise, if you're a female over 50, the type and the timing of your food in relationship to your exercise, and definitely time of day to help you sleep better, calm down easier, all matters much more than it used to. And just drop your questions below. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss a video, and I will see you on the flip side.